صورت انا صورت
المطار
في المطار طاح في المطار
المطار جوا
وي
ماشي دوام
Reading out of Jeremiah chapter 16, verses 14 and 15, and it reads, Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. This is dealing with North America, Babylon the Great. And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Call Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Ruharu Kakodash. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. I'm going to bring out some notifications, some scriptures, and I want to touch on a short topic regarding the final days and the timing of it all and the warlike events that can set it off. Okay. Now, we had the big incident over the weekend. It's Saturday afternoon. There was a retaliatory strike from Iran, and they kind of just shot off drones, and it took America to aid the Israelis to kind of, avert the attack. When you go into the videos, damage was done actually. It was done more so on the outskirts, but nothing got through to Tel Aviv, okay? So at the moment, it's kind of calmed down, but the Israeli Prime Minister, right? He's already vowed retaliation against Iran, so it's a matter of time before that conflict gets worse. Right? Let me see if there's any, here we go, notifications. Check this out. I'm coming out of End Time Headlines. It says, Russia moves supersonic missile warship to Middle East after Iran attack on Israel. Again, it reads, Russia moves supersonic missile warship to Middle East after Iran attack on Israel. And other sources is already saying Russia kind of aided Iran on how to start that attack. So World War III is here, and yes, it will escalate, okay? World War III is here, and it will escalate. Let's read on. It says, this is the next notification. These from yesterday. It says Iran launched 185 drones, 36 cruise missiles, and 110 surface-to-surface missiles as part of an unprecedented attack on Israel. I'm going to read that again. Iran launched 185 drones, 36 cruise missiles, and 110 surface-to-surface missiles as part of the unprecedented attack on Israel. Check this notification out. I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to read it. End Time Headline reports, Biden warns Netanyahu that the United States will not support Israel's counter attack on Iran. That's not true. I don't believe that to be true at all. Us that's in the knowledge of this truth know that Israel really control and dictate Babylon the Great. So this all-out war is due to increase. See if there's any more. That's all I have for now. But I want to get into this short segment. I'm going to end this video. So I was listening to one of the elders in the community, and I've been following, you know, the brother. I won't put the congregation. You know, I don't want to put them on blast, but it's a lot of congregations that I follow on social media. You know, when they bringing out the truth. But the elder said, he basically said the World War III won't start until Israel, how do you say, take all of its, he was going into how Israel would take all the lot that was somewhat allotted to the Palestinians, then the war would start. I disagree with that. And he also went into everything will be based around World War III would be focused more so on Iran versus Israel. Well, that's false, and I'm gonna tell you why it's false. And I love that community, that congregation. I won't put the name out because I've been following them for 9 years. I don't want to sink them, but I'm just gonna throw in my I'm gonna throw in my take on it. Okay, I've been telling y'all on my platform, and I don't have a lot of followers. I only have up to 300 followers, but in any of these videos, I've always gave many scenarios that could lead into the day of the Lord's vengeance. Okay, going into this great war, Armageddon. Okay, the day of deliverance. It's not solely based. It's not solely based on Iran and Israel. The brother left out, okay, China, Taiwan. Now, we've been hearing that one for a long time. Okay, I was thinking China might overthrow Taiwan in the middle of that conflict, but, you know, it didn't get out of control yet. And to his point, you know, Turkey and other dragons of Arabia, they didn't chime in. And he was correct about that. But there are other scenarios. You got a condition right now with the Russia-Ukraine war where NATO troops, okay, it's been confirmed. You have British troops, right? And you have United States troops in Ukraine on the ground. He didn't even mention that. That in itself could set off a different type of conflict. Because you got Putin telling the world every day, if NATO get involved with this war, he's shooting the nukes. And this is the part I truly disagree with. And I love the brother. I love the congregation. I follow him. I'm subbing them. I won't say who they are, but he said it's going to be another 20 years. Hell, emphatically no. Any Israelite saying we here for another 20, 30, 40 years, you might as well not even be in the truth. Because that sounds like someone that don't want deliverance. You got this scenario, the one I'm going into right now. Check it out. If it's enough NATO troops on the ground for Putin to do an all-out assault on Babylon the Great and its allies, that's what's going to happen. And that's imminent. That's not 20 years. That's not 20 years from now. That's any moment. Okay? And then when you do the homework on the kingdoms, you deal with our captivities. Egypt got to about 250. They fell down around 200 to 255 years. They collapsed. You got the Persian, same thing, around 250. The Babylonians, about 250. The Grecian Empire, 250, a little beyond that. They collapsed. Okay? The ancient Roman Empire, around 250. Somewhere around that time, a little after, all those kingdoms fell. I'm going to hit you with something. America hits 250 in the year 2026. That's less than a half a year from now. About a year and a half, excuse me. That's about a year and a half from now. So it ain't no 20 years. We gotta wait. And there's no scripture verse that says we have to wait even for that period. It could be sooner than that. Okay? I'm just speaking as a teacher. A lot of brothers are saying, and I've been hearing this, when Jacob's trouble hit a all-time high, okay, when Jacob's trouble peak, or they got to come down on us. I've said this, and I'm going to say this again. You have shows on YouTube like Audit to Audit, Police Audit, Court Audit, Corrupt Police, okay. You have Dr. Rashad, I think it's Rashad Butter, how do you say, the Young Turks. You have too many podcasts to show, and I challenge y'all to look at those channels and you see the evidence for yourself. Don't take me at face value. Don't take Yahweh Israel at face value. But when you look at Audit the Audit and the court audits, you got some called good cops versus bad cops. I'm gonna let y'all be the judge on that. Because you know what these videos reveal? How cops plant evidence, chiefly on people of color, have them arrested. Now, some of the camps brought out, this was maybe a year or two ago, you had the sister with the fringes on get jammed up and arrested. But when you go into those channels I mentioned, yo, check it. They getting Jake thrown in prison all the time in Babylon the Great. Now, I remember one account, this was a few years ago, with some brothers from the GMS camp. They were teaching. They wasn't harming nobody. And they got thrown in prison for no reason. Now, the judges let them out, but they hit them with major fines. They brothers were hit with like $10,000, $15,000 fines, and these brothers hardly had a job. So when brothers talk about when Jacob's trouble come, are they gonna come at us? How you slack it? You gotta prove that ain't happening already. You gotta prove that. And when you go to those channels I mentioned, you're gonna see that's happening every day in America. Brothers saying, oh, they gotta come down on us. And for what it's worth, the elders is bringing out how they could lock down your bank account. They could blacklist you right now. They could straight shut you off the market. Yes, the banks have the power to blacklist you whenever they want. Okay? They were showing us that with the Wendy Williams phenomenon. How the sister's completely sane, but she is a Mason. She kind of went against the order, and she's jammed up. And they mentioned all types of entertainers, known entertainers that went up against their elite bosses, and they got jacked up. So I second when Jacob's trouble, when brothers say when Jacob's trouble gonna come, I second that. All you gotta do is check out those platforms I mentioned. And you see that Jacob's trouble, it ain't already been here. I've brought that out on old YouTube videos I have regarding Jacob's trouble. I brought out, Genesis, that whole Adam and Eve accounts. Then you have the 70 AD account. And there's nowhere in the scriptures where it says the curse would ever stop. That's Deuteronomy 28 chapters. It's for it's a perpetual thing. So that whole, it's general, it's not to offend anybody, but it's impossible to say when Jacob's trouble gonna come when it's been here historically. From the time of us, when you read Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the time of us going back to the ground, okay, that's a curse that was put on us, okay, and really to this very day. But to the whole World War III topic, that ain't no 20-year thing for this deliverance to play out, or for that major prophecy to manifest. That ain't 20 years. Family, that's any damn minute, man. That's something for y'all to think about. Look at those platforms and, go, go to the comment board, man. Let me know what you think, because it ain't no 20 years we have to wait for this deliverance. I'm only speaking as a man. I'm praying it's no more less than 2.5 to 3 years, at max 4 years, because that thing could pop off any minute. That could pop off any minute, family. Russia could. They already deployed the Sarmats. They've been deployed to Sarmats. They just didn't activate them. They deployed in the sense they put them in their positions when they think it's time to start shooting the missiles. That ain't gonna take no damn 20 years, family. That can happen this year. Let's get a few precepts. We're gonna end it. I mean, do your research. Do your research on those channels and channels like that, showing that our people are oppressed, locked away. Like I said, cops planting evidence to get whole brothers and sisters locked away on time. They ain't got no money. Jacob's trouble. Are you serious? We been in that thing. Okay? And yes, while we're here, we're gonna get hit with harder afflictions. ADL, SPLC, with them and they foolery, They're gonna make laws that come down on us, but we been in that. This whole Jacob's trouble thing, I think that's misunderstood by a lot of mighty teachers. Let's get these scriptures and we're going to end it. Isaiah 13:4 and verse 5. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustered the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Okay, and the brother was 100. We probably see them small hatters go first, but what happens once the small hatters are destroyed? Babylon the Great, America emphatically will be next. You have the BRICS nations. You have all their allies mounting up to destroy America. That ain't no 15, 20 year wait. That could technically happen in this current season. And I say that because I want to get out of this captivity. And I would never tell y'all, as a teacher in this truth, we're going to have to wait 15, 20 more years for certain prophecies to play out. That's insane based on everything happening right now. That doesn't even make sense. If you pay close attention to the war and everything regarding those wars, World War III is right now. World War III is right now. Shalom, family. My apologies for that interruption. We're going to try to carry on with the scriptures, and we're going to wind it down. But going into that destruction, we're going to end it with the 18th chapter of Revelations. My apologies for that. We're going to go to the classic in Revelations 18 and verse 19, and it reads, "And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate." And that's dealing with the fall of Babylon the Great, aka America. And again, it's not going to be an additional 20 years. I'll be damned, man. It's too much things regarding prophecy, this war. It's an overload. So it ain't no 20 years, y'all. But I'm gonna end it there. All praise, honor, glory be to the Most High power of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes scattered. Double honors to all the mighty elders and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. We got next. Shalom, family.